Welcome back to the Abundant Behavior Podcast. I'm your host, Ali Banks. And on my platform, I like to bring business and faith and combine it all on one platform. You know, they say that the biggest gap in the world is between knowing and doing. And the reason a lot of people don't execute simply because they lack the knowledge in certain areas. So what I like to do on my platform is I like to bring various entrepreneurs from different walks of life, bring them on my platform, let them tell their story, and hopefully the gems they give can get you to your destination a little bit faster. But today I got an amazing guest on my platform. And I've been sowing this seed for a while. I actually went to a event. Earn Your Leisure was going to be there, so I'm like, all right. It was around the time where I'm like, man, it ain't really nobody out here doing nothing. I need to get to Atlanta. Like I keep hearing, I need to get to Atlanta.
Right.
I'm like, all right, let me go to this event and see if it's who actually act this event. And so when I get there, I'm like, man, it's some black dudes out here really shaking and moving and really making some big money and doing some really impactful things. And when he got up there and spoke, man, I was like, let me follow this dude on social media. When I followed him, man, I seen he's a married man. You know what I'm saying? Got his kids with him all the time, business, structured. So that's definitely somebody I want to mirror my success against. So when I seen him, I'm like, bro, I got to get you on the platform. Got to get you talking about and speak, tell your story. And then we were speaking a little bit. He mentioned something about the relationship with his dad, and I had a similar story. I never told you that. And so I had to get on the platform, but I don't want to take up too much time. We'll let him introduce himself, tell a little bit about who he is, and then we're going to get right into it.
All right, so what's up, man? What's going on with y'all? Thurston, serial entrepreneur, real estate investor, doing some development, flipping, wholesaling. I kind of do it all in the real estate space, but got into this maybe 6 years ago.
Okay.
6 years ago, I was a working man, 9 to 5, got a family, wife, kids, mother, father. Everybody needs a different pitch. So, I wanted to do something to, essentially change it up a little bit. And get my time back too.
Nah, yeah, that's very
that
important.
was a big thing for me because I got kids, man. I got young kids, right? Yeah. So, son in sports, my youngest daughter in sports, my older daughter's in the different activities. So, I want to be present for all that.
No, yeah, that's important. That's dope.
Working a 9 to 5, it kind of takes up a lot of your time in a sense of not being present for some things. People be tired. You went to work all day.
Yeah, for sure.
So man, I wanted to have my time back.
Yeah.
That's all.
No, for sure. And so, like I told you, I was in the military. So a lot of my friends, they get out and they become real estate agents. And a lot of my friends from back home are real estate agents. But what made you go as on the investor side as opposed to saying, I want to be a real estate agent?
The short story money wise, but so my cousin, right, and I'll give you the quick story. My cousin, our moms are sisters and our dads are brothers. Okay. I know that sounds a little weird, but we're double first cousins on both sides of the family. And he became a magistrate judge in Prince George County, right? Okay. The youngest in the history, right?
Right.
So he quit his job. So my family knows me and him are really close. So when he quit his job, they're like, yo, what he got going on? Like, what's going on?
Sure. It got to be something.
It got to be something. So when I spoke to him, he said, yo, look, I'm doing wholesaling. Now, that year I was getting married. He was like, yo, after you get married, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to talk to you about it. I'm like, all right, cool.
Gotcha.
So my cousin is one of those people that he don't really invest his time and energy unless he see that you're serious. So I had already went and did some research. Researching, you know what I'm saying?
Like, there's got to be something.
There's got to be something.
Like, got to be something.
Yeah, bro. So I started doing some research. And I seen him like, yo, I can probably do this. So he gave me some gems, kind of get me started, and it kind of took off from there. But yeah, man, I looked at it like, yo, this is an opportunity.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So real estate agents and stuff, I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong.
For sure, yeah.
That's if people decide to do that, that's cool. But for me, I'm not personable like that. In that way,
I got you.
Right? I gotta take people around.
Yourself.
Yeah, you gotta know yourself. So that was more my speed as far as my personality. So I just took a liking to that, essentially.
Yeah. So how do you view the current housing market right now, man? I see a lot of people are like selling a lot, man. Like a lot of my friends as agents, they getting them off. Is it like a seller's market right now, man?
Yes, it is. It's a seller's market, but in the same breath, so I just bought my home, right?
Okay,
I ain't gonna say forever home. My wife would hate if I said that, but I just bought a house for my family, me and my wife, and
I saw that, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate that. And I mean, it was an experience, bro. I do real estate, right? I do this every day. I buy, sell, invest a lot. That's what I do for a living. But that experience was completely different because of really the market. Like, we put in 10 offers
Man,
right? And they just won't get accepted. And you know, I got a couple dollars in my pocket, right? So I'm like, what's going on
with this? Yeah.
But it's like the sellers, you know, for a property in a very high demand area like Hampton, right? Because the school systems are really well. They're doing really well. They have all these different new programs for kids, and so people are moving there in the great, you know, I say the suburb neighborhoods.
Okay.
So houses were selling a lot faster, you know, versus like Newport News. And I lived in Newport News. I had a townhouse there, but the school system is not great.
Yeah, so
you know what I'm saying?
The area has to be all the way together.
Right.
No, for sure, man. Cause around this area, man, the school system is great. Cause my son, he's about to be in 3rd grade.
Okay.
And so it's great. So I can agree with that. So how can a new investor look to get into that if they like, man, I'm working a 9 to 5. I feel just like Thurston felt, man. I heard him. He say he did a little research, but how do you think somebody can get into it? I'm talking about maybe they don't even got capital. They thinking they need a bunch of money. How do the average person get into it?
I'm gonna look in the camera when I say this. Come to me, because that's essentially that's what I
mentor. You know what I'm saying?
Just taking a step back real quick.
Yeah,
I feel like this portion of real estate for me was kind of ordained by God, and I'm saying that because the way I got into it and how I just became successful fast at it.
Yeah.
That's why I decided to start teaching, because a lot of for us that look like us don't have the tools and knowledge to really get into it without money. Bro, I was broke. Living check to check.
No, for sure. Listen,
literally check to check. I had no money saved. So when I got into it, it was like, all right, I can invest my time and get something out of it. So that strategy is called wholesaling, right?
Gotcha.
Wholesaling is what got me in the game. Okay. I didn't need any cash, no credit, no nothing, no money, no nothing. All I'm doing is finding vacant, rundown houses, saying, hey, do you want to sell this property? They saying, yeah, I want to get rid of it. And all I'm doing is connecting the dots. I'm just playing the middleman. All right, let me get the deal, sign a contract, and now I'm finding somebody else to buy it.
Yeah, that's you. Yeah, you spoke about that at the event.
Yep.
Yeah, okay,
got you. It's lucrative, right? No, and I suggest everybody going that route because you don't have to spend money to do that. Gotcha. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously,
footwork, and if you got to work at the
it's research.
That's all. Get into that.
If you can do research, you can make money from it.
No, I got you.
That's really it. Now, as you get deeper into the operation, like I am now, I invest my money in marketing, different strategies to make more money. But you don't have to have any money to do it.
It's always it's a journey, man.
Yeah.
You said you've been doing it for 6 years, and you said something important, man. You feel like it was ordained by God because you had success so fast. And a lot of people can be looking at something when they get into it, like, man, it's not working for me. When should I give up? Should I just keep going, or like, what should I do? Like, how somebody in that street, they might be stuck. They might be, you know what I'm saying, where you at, and they like, man, it ain't pop for me. Like, should I stop? So what you got for people that's in that mind frame?
So I'll say this, and I'm gonna take it back. I started doing this in 2018, and I was not successful.
Gotcha.
Right? Because my mindset was on money.
Yeah.
Right? And I wasn't focused on the learning aspect of it.
Yeah.
So 2018 is when I really kind of got started. 2019, I did one deal. I made $3,000, something like that. But I was working. I had a 9 to 5. So, and I was working at the shipyard for people who want to know.
Yeah, man.
I was an engineer.
So you was working.
So I got a whole engineer degree. I got a master's degree in engineering.
Okay.
So,
that's dope, bro.
Yeah, bro. I was, trying to make my way up the corporate ladder, and it just wasn't working out. Yeah. But to stay on topic, 2019, I did one deal, and I went for a promotion for like a higher tier level engineering position. And I did get it, right?
Yeah.
I got it. So let me just say this. I got it, right? Interviewed 10 people. They chose me, obviously, because I've been doing the job for a little while. So, okay, whatever. But the money aspect of it just wasn't.
It wasn't like adding up to what I.
Or they was trying to give me like $5,000 more than what I was making, right? And I would have had an office position in the office, kind of 9 to 5 type of thing. But when I counted, right, and mind you, I got a master's degree. I was a long-term supervisor, so I was already kind of doing some of the job duties.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So I was like, can y'all meet me here? And it was an immediate no. This is the salary.
Yeah, bro.
So it made me dig deep and be like, am I doing this just for the money?
It's a ceiling.
Right, but it wasn't right. It was like what it was, I felt like they put a cap on what I can do. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't like that. Yeah. And I literally, on my way here, I was talking to my wife, and, I'm a big advocate for therapy. I've been in therapy for 4 years, right? And it's more so mental to learn how to deal with the outside perspective of different things.
No, yeah, got
right,
you,
and doing
man.
business and being a husband, being a father.
Yeah, that's a lot
like,
to balance, man.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
a lot, bro.
Yeah.
I'm laying in bed last night, and I've been with my kids all day because they home with me during the day, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm telling my wife, like, yo, I'm overstimulated. Like, I gotta go downstairs for a second, and I'm just being
No,
real
that's
about
good.
it.
Communicating though.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
I'm
I
like,
got you,
I'm a
yeah.
little overstimulated. I need some time to myself, like, and so to bring it all back, you know, I wasn't successful at first, and then I made a conscious decision and like, I'm gonna keep my same job, but I'm not working no overtime. I'm doing 8 hours, and I'm going home to work on this.
Do my 8, hit the gate.
You know, bingo. Do my 8 and hit the gate, right?
For sure.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And the second I made that decision, bro, it was like a switch. Like
Chose
then it was like
yourself.
boom. I got my first deal, and that's when like COVID happened. So I closed the deal right when COVID happened, and it took off from there. It gave me
That's
time.
crazy. During COVID, when most people think the world was at a panic,
Bro.
people was making the most money they ever made in their life.
Yep. That was the best
You
year
know
for
what I
me.
mean? Yeah.
And I think, like I said about being ordained by God to do something, it happened at the right time. Because any other time, I wouldn't have left my job. Like, that was security for me.
No, yeah, for sure.
Excuse me. That was security for me. So, you know, I essentially got into it, and I mean, I became successful fast at doing it. So yeah.
Do you have any books or resources that you recommend that people can get into? I know you said you was doing research. There's so much stuff out here.
Right, right.
What's the right direction?
I mean, definitely YouTube. YouTube. I read what's that? Rich Dad Poor Dad. That was like a real motivational book for me. What's the other one? Greg Cardone's book.
The 10X Rule?
Yes. Yes.
10X Rule.
10X Rule. Just reading those to try to get familiar with some of the lingo.
Yeah, self-help. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you definitely, when you start as an entrepreneur, man, like, the book that really did it for me was Think and Grow Rich.
Okay.
By Napoleon Hill. He has this story in there where he talks about stopping 3 feet from gold. He was just talking about how it was a gold miner. He went down there to mine the gold in the gold mine, in the cave or whatever. And he went down there and he was banging and doing his thing, and he found one gold nugget. So he was like, all right, I think I must have got here.
Yep.
Hitting. He's like, man, ain't no gold down here.
Right.
He sells the equipment to a guy. The guy like, where was you at with this gold? So the guy did one step first. He's like, I'm going to hire a specialist. So he took the specialist down to the cave. The dude was like, man, if he would have went 3 more feet, he would have ran into a brick of gold. It's a bunch behind here, right? The guy went on to be successful in gold industry, but it was just saying, like, that moment where you feel like you about to give up,
Yep.
that might be your big breakthrough.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's
And-
always like that. Man.
Nah,
You
that's
gotta
true.
Be connected to God to really know it's when. All right, it's perfect timing. Capitalize on it.
Yep.
Go for it.
Yeah. And I'm a big I'm a big Nipsey fan, right?
Okay, for
I
sure.
had the pleasure of kind of meeting him early on in his career, like 2009. And one thing he said that was so profound to me is that, not to me, just in general in a
for sure.
interview, was what did he say? He said, the only difference between me and everybody else is I didn't quit, right?
No,
and I know it's like
said
a
it a
cliche
lot. Yeah.
saying, but it's literally that simple, bro. Right? Because you're going to
sure.
face every emotion when going through something that you're trying to chase. Whether it's God, whether it's, you trying to become a pastor. You're going to go through
Anything.
adversity with anything that you face that's worth you having. You're going to face different emotions. You're going to go through every emotion. And I did, bro, from crying to being happy to being sad to being,
Yeah, bro. Nah,
you touch
yeah.
every emotion.
Nah,
and
you
so
do.
that's just a part of life with anything, bro. Think about going to the gym, right? You in shape, right? Going to the gym, you got to put in pain to get to where you want to get to.
Man, I'm talking about them days where you don't want to go. You got to just go in there, bro. And I'm in there really like beating myself up just
Bro.
to go through the process.
Bro.
Just to go one day further.
And I know I don't look like
You
it.
do everything, man.
Yeah, bro.
Nah, you be in there, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Everything is a dream,
and I was an
like you
athlete
said.
too. Like
Yeah.
I don't mention that too much to people just because that's kind of a past. But I was an athlete. I was a college athlete. I went to the University of Texas El Paso. Then I transferred to Hampton University, and I was there and I hooped for 2 years before I got in some stuff. But I was an athlete, like a top tier hooper out here. Just to fast forward, like I was a top tier athlete at some point. And then the shift happened. Family, business, and I started to take on that mind frame of trying to hone in to be like the best dad I can be. And like I said, my father wasn't around. My real father wasn't around at all. So I took a pride when I started having kids to be like, I'm going to make sure I'm there for everything.
The best dad possible.
You know what I'm
for
saying?
Sure.
So it gave me that real motivation. I think that's where most of my motivation comes from. But also just wanting to not struggle. Like, I don't want to struggle. That's not... For everybody who's out there that's struggling, I know you don't want to struggle, but that's a part of it.
You know what I mean?
For
Sure. You got to go through the growing pains, and
Right.
that's something that I'm learning too. just within this past year, I've grown a lot, grew a lot closer to God, really got serious about my businesses and how I'm conducting businesses and making sure I'm not like being lazy on these days where I could be actually producing something good. And so I know like going through that, you're going to feel like, man, it's all for nothing right now. Like I got no wins at the end of the day.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I did the podcast. It got no views.
Right.
I put out the good content. It get no clicks. And anything you do, it ain't going to pop right then and there. But God going to test your faith through that. He going to see if you really want it.
Right.
Because it's going to take some time. And I started to think, like, I'm just comparing myself. And that's when I really was like, man, like his platform growing, they platform growing, they making this or they making that.
Right.
But right when you start doing that, that's when you stop focusing on what God got for you.
Right.
That's really what happened, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nah, absolutely.
For you, man, what's like one lesson you learned in business and you think most people could avoid? Or maybe it's like like you were saying, maybe it was focusing too much on the money, but what's like a big lesson you learned that most people can avoid?
Networking.
Gotcha.
Right. And I just kind of had this conversation this morning. I'm not going to mention their name, but building relationships in business is probably the number one thing you can do. Because at the end of the day, right, check this out. Listen to this, right? If you can't get guests, let's just say, for instance, with your podcast, right? If it's hard for you to get guests and you're building and networking with other people in a podcast, like, yo, how can I get some guests? Like, what can I pitch to them to get them to come on, right? They can give you some gems, right? But if you're a person that doesn't reach out or network with other people, sometimes you learn those lessons hard. So at first, for me, and just using my cousin, his network is a little bit different than mine. He was a person who built his business off of just himself. Gotcha. And I think he probably struggled a little bit earlier doing that, but my success came fast because I worked with so many other people. You get what I'm saying? It came faster for me in a sense. Yeah. And like I said, we both successful. My cousin is super successful. I mean, still to this day, me and him talk, and we're trying to generate some business to do because me and him have never done business together.
Right. I was going to ask that.
Nope. We've never done business together.
Yeah.
And our business models are similar, but they're not the same. And so for him, like, you know, he's built his business off of just hard work, you know, just I'm going hard as I can. And it worked, right? For me, the same thing, but I took a different approach. I just was like, I'm going to network with people, right? I'm going to do deals with people. And that's how my name has probably gotten out there a lot faster than probably what it would have if I didn't do that.
That's important because it's crazy that you mentioned that because that's what I use my podcast for. It's basically a networking, you know what I'm saying? Getting mentorship, you know what I'm saying? And obviously the platform gives back to both people, you know what I mean? But just networking, that's key because like you said in the beginning, man, I wanted to do everything myself because I just wanted all the credit because I wanted all the money, but it's not about that. Right. You know what I mean? Like I have a brand like the Melanated Military. It's the brand that I started. Okay. But now I'm trying to teach my little sister how to run the Shopify account, how to get her to make the shipping labels, how to get her to do it. Right. So now when I'm going, I got 2 and 3 other people. But at first I'm like, why would I? No. Why would I want somebody doing that for me? It was just my ego. It was just my ego. You want it all.
Right.
You know
right. And we all do. As men, that's just how we were kind of wired, bro. To figure it out. Like we're gonna figure it out. But what I've learned in going to therapy, and you don't have to figure it out by yourself. You don't have to.
You could just ask, can I get a little help?
Right.
Sometimes that just
it go a long way.
Man, I was wondering when you was gonna ask. I've been sitting back waiting to help for a minute. People really willing to help, man. Especially when they because a lot of people, you don't even think people watching. You don't even think people might be a part of it, but a lot of people do. Like, man, that's dope what he got going on, man. Because you just imagine how many times you probably looked at a celebrity or somebody that you never met. You like, man, that's dope what they got going on, man. If you was to get a part of it, you like, I could do something with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just everyday people always willing to help. And this is people aligned with God, man. He got the people set that's gonna help you with your mission. You just got to talk to them.
You got to talk to them. That's it, bro. That's it. Man. I agree.
So that definitely leads me to my next question. How important has God been for you on your journey?
Oh, man. And this should have been probably the first question. Everything, bro. It means a whole lot. And I'll say, like, just a quick backstory. So me growing up, my mom's first marriage, she was married to somebody who was Muslim. So I did that prior to I was like 6, 7. And then my mom's second marriage, which is my stepfather now, you know, he's Jehovah's Witness. So I got to view religion from different perspectives. And so me growing up and me becoming an adult, I had to find my own path. And, bro, I'll say it was a whirlwind for me in the sense of trying to figure out where my belief lies. And ultimately, obviously, it's Jesus Christ,
No,
you know.
for sure.
But
yeah, not for sure. But going through that, man,
bro, that's
I
a
can
lot.
attest to that.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's spiritual warfare a little bit when you hear so much about black people and slavery and everything like that, and then you like, okay, well, I know this part of it, but it's like, okay, well, what really is it? But when you start to read the Bible yourself, that's really what it was for
Facts,
me,
bro.
And that's when I really, you know what I'm saying, made the decision, like, all right, I'm all in.
Right. And you start to, and it starts to feel natural, right? When God puts his hand on something, right? It starts to feel natural. And literally, that's what it became for me, bro. Because I didn't, so I hear so many stories about people getting in real estate and doing this, and they lose money, and I lost my, and sometimes, like, and this is my favorite saying, right? If you're not ready for an opportunity that's going to pass you by, sometimes the opportunity comes and it's like right there, boom. But you can't recognize it because you're not ready to receive it.
No, for
so
sure.
That's all God, though, because he places it for you to see, for you to grab it, touch it, and be successful in it. And so I use this, and this is what I tell my mentees, my interns, my students. I tell them, listen, the opportunity is here for you to grab, but you have to be ready to receive the opportunity. Because if you're not ready to receive it, it's a wasted opportunity, right? That's just how it goes. So, you know, God just places his hands on things that he ordains for you or whoever, whatever the situation may be. You don't give up, but you continue to go through it. That's all. And, you know, you keep working at it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, that's all.
Yeah, man. One of my mentors, man, he make music, and in his song he said, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have it than have an opportunity and not be prepared.
Yep.
So every day you got to be doing the work to get better. Because like I was saying, what if you was like, oh, man, you a photographer, bro? Me and my wife, we want some photos in the studio. And I didn't be innovative and go get my studio.
Right.
Oh, man, I ain't got no studio. I ain't.
Right.
Yeah. You could have been trying to get me who knows how much for that shoot.
Right.
I just missed it because I've been, when I get this much, I'm going to get the studio. When I get this good, I'm going to get the studio. When I secure this big shoot, I'm going to get the studio. Nah, you got to do that first. You got to be preparing for that season already because God is going to bring you there. But, hey, you're going to get there. Like you said, you're not even going to be able to recognize it. There's probably a lot of opportunities that you pass up because you didn't recognize it.
Absolutely.
If you're not focused on God, you focused on the world too much.
Yep.
It's gonna pass you right by. Man.
It's gonna pass you right by, bro.
What
so God plays a part in all of it. My fault. I ain't mean to do it,
good.
God plays a part in everything, bro. That's
everything.
First and foremost. I mean, we are deep in it. So you know what I mean?
No, for sure. What do you think is the biggest factor that hold black man back in business and maybe like in personal life as well?
Ego. I would say one is ego. And the other would probably be self-awareness. And I say that because, for one, your ego can destroy everything.
No, for sure.
If you have ego to not want to reach out, not want to, maybe seek advice, seek a mentor, or seek some sort of direction so you don't fail, that's one. But also, having self-awareness. You got to be able, as humans, we got to be coachable. And I say that in a sports sense, but you got to be coachable, bro. If you're not, people don't want to work with you. They don't want to deal with you. They don't want to be bothered by you, right? So that's a part of my whole therapeutic journey is I had to be self-aware of things that I say, how I act, how I treat people, how I respond to different things. Yeah. All that's super important because that can deter you. And like for me, I'm dealing with sellers all the time, right? So I just gave this lesson to one of my mentees. I'm like, yo, somebody can be nasty all they want, right? That's fine. But I'm self-aware that, okay, they may be going through something. I don't know what they going through, but they may be going through something, right?
For sure.
So have enough self-discipline to not respond in a way that can offend them as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely turn the other cheek, man.
Yeah, got to.
No, that ego is a killer. That ego can be, like you said, reaching out. You know what I'm saying? Being too cool for school. Like, I don't want to post no content.
Right.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to reach out to him. Why would I reach out to a man? Or learn from somebody that's younger than me. Because right now I'm in a business right now where I'm learning from somebody that's younger than me. Had to put my ego to the side. You know what I mean? But because it's like, obviously, if you see a gap and he's where you trying to get, success leave clues. Hey, man, I'm trying to learn everything you know because I'm trying to get to where you are. And that's like you said, that ego is a killer. That self-awareness too. A lot of men, they look at their situation and they like, nah, this cool, man. I'm going to let another day pass. Oh, it's cool. It's fine. I'm going to let another day pass. Oh, it's cool. Oh, man, how he get that? Man,
Because self-awareness allows you to make changes.
Then it turn into that hate, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
For sure, that envy.
Yep.
Like, you like, oh, man, why they get that? Or why
Yep.
they doing that? Why
Yep.
got me, man? Because you all year you've been sitting there like, oh, never mind. I had to be that better by myself, man. I had to get self-aware. There's a lot of times where I was holding myself back. You know what I mean? Like, recently, I just went back to a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Because after the Navy, I'm like, bro, you work so hard. I'm like, I'm cool, but when I got back in church, man, I've been back in church since Easter. God telling me, bro, I never told you that. I never said you wasn't gonna work again after the Navy.
Right.
You want to be this big entrepreneur, but you never came to me and asked me about none of that.
Yep.
When you got out the Navy, you ain't say I photography, but you told yourself that. Now go back to work and work for somebody that's younger than you, so you can humble yourself. So when you go get that business, you know how to run it the correct way.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so I had to get out of my own way and be self-aware.
That's a perfect story.
A lot of people, man, one of my friends, he probably was going to watch this, man. He used to tell me, why don't you just go back to work? A couple of them, I'm going back to work. What I look like?
Right.
I'm an entrepreneur.
Yep.
Man, no, you not, bro. You broke.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Now, thank God I haven't been through that lesson just yet. Since I quit my job, I've been fortunate enough not to.
For sure,
But I've had those conversations, bro, at night with my wife. And when things real estate-wise wasn't going so great, I had to have that conversation. Like, dog, I might have to look for a job. But that's okay, though.
No, it is.
Yeah, that's okay.
I think a lot of people, man, once they get into entrepreneurship, they like, man, I got to go back. But, man, inflation go up. It take a lot to run businesses, bro. I start to see that with my brand. I'm like, to push this, bro, you got to really have some constant money going into it until it finally pop. The marketing is a big part of it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, all right, bro, go ahead, go back.
Yep.
That was holding me back, bro. If I would have been lit, because God's been telling me to go back to work for a while.
Oh, okay.
So, so yeah, man, that's a big one, man. So what inspired your mentorship program, and how has it been impactful? Because I hear you talk about the students, your mentees. Say you got the kid program where you showing them. So how, explain that a little bit. Maybe somebody want to get their kids in it or something like that, man.
For one, I seen a need for it. Now, I'm not, listen, don't kill me for this, y'all. Social media is great, right? I respect it for what it's worth and what you can do with it. But it's like becoming a rapper or becoming an athlete, right? It's starting to become one of those things that kids feel like they can just automatically do. And you can, but you might not be successful at it. So I'm just, going to different schools. I've done different speaking events and talking to younger kids. And they're like, yo, I want to be a social media content creator, or I want to do this social media. And that's fine, but let's set yourself up for something for plan B or plan C or whatever.
Because you can do content around real estate.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's important, bro.
Yeah, you can do it however you want to do it. But I just felt like it was a need for me, and like I said, being ordained by God in certain ways, to teach, especially the younger generation, that you can get into this not having much money or having much credit. You just got to have a vision, and work hard for it. You know what I'm saying? Just provide another outlet.
No, for sure.
That's all.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Provide another way.
You can never be attract what you're not exposed to,
Right.
man. And so for a lot of kids, social media, they see these content creators, they're rich, they're famous. They like, man, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? They don't see the average black man, real estate investor, engineer. They don't see the average black man. You know what I'm saying? And so for them, it's just kind of far-fetched. Like, man, I could run up a bag just posting my face on here.
Yeah.
Let me do that.
Yeah.
So it's cool that you had to bring that awareness. Like, let kids know, like, hey, nah, like, it's another way. You could do social media, not the only way, because I do feel like I'm one of those big people. Like I feel like it's some systems put in place just to keep us in a certain place, and I really feel like they pushing an agenda with social media to get a lot of our younger generation to think that's the end all be all, while they run up a bag in another space where the real money is at.
Yep. And also to the potential behind it.
And there's nothing wrong with social media. It's only used as a tool though, for your business.
Right.
Because you got to have a presence outside of social media.
Yep.
I had to learn that as well. It ain't just about building. You got to be just like this, face to face.
Yep. No, absolutely. I agree, bro. 1,000%.
They don't teach networking on social media. They don't teach in-person conversations on social media. They don't teach you how to close a deal, how to pitch a sale. None of that.
Yep.
That stuff you got to get in person.
Yep. Nah, for sure.
That's a lot of life stuff.
Right there, man. For sure, bro. For sure. And having those, mentees and people to look towards you like, yo, I need some help, some guidance. I just think it's a beautiful thing, only because, it's just, you're teaching people something that they didn't know was possible. And that's a big thing, bro. When somebody don't know something's possible and you give them a way to make it possible, that's all I need. It ain't about money. It ain't about nothing. And like I said, I made all my stuff super affordable. where I'm not charging nothing crazy to teach. The kids program, parents will hit me up like, yo, what does it cost? I said, it don't cost nothing. This is a free program.
Free program.
Literally.
That's dope, bro.
I just want to give
impact.
the information so they can understand, like, yo, all right, while you chasing your dream, doing whatever it is you want to do, that's fine. But here's another outlet. And that's why I always say, like, yo, I got a master's degree. I went to college for 8 years, bro, to achieve
that's
that.
dedication, bro. No,
you know what I'm saying?
That's
to
dedication.
have that backup plan. Because, I had a vision for myself. I wanted to be in the corporate world, but it didn't work out that way. So, but I still have a backup plan. I can literally go apply for a job and go through the whole process all over again. Yeah. But I just wanted to have a backup plan. So that's all this is for them. Yeah. Just provide another resource. That's all.
That's dope. So if y'all kids out there, if y'all need mentorship, hit up my boy. He gonna get you where you need to be for sure.
Yeah, hit me up for sure.
So as a black entrepreneur in real estate, man, is there anything that you had to navigate, like being a black man, or anything that you experienced where you like, man, nah, this is crazy?
Absolutely.
You can share, man, just with, you know what I'm saying, with the people.
And I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to be real. That's just who I am. Yeah. And it's not all white people, but dealing with them, I ran into a lot of racism behind it. Right? Listen, and I'll give you an example, right? Just to be specific, right? So a lot of marketing I do, we target properties that are in jeopardy of being either taken by the state, foreclosure, taxes, whatever. And so I go to some of these people like, hey, look, I got a solution for you, right? You owe $40,000 in taxes. Look, I can buy this house, put some money in your pocket, and so they don't take it. And so obviously when they hear my name, they're like Thurston. They're not thinking I'm a brother. You know what I'm saying?
No, I got
So when I go and meet them, it's a whole different tune. And I got dreads too.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
You know, and typically I keep my hair up just for my professional setting. But, you know, they meet me and they're like, and their whole tune changes. Now it's like, oh, we got to see, right? And they're not super rude. Some of them are, but they're not super rude. But
you can just tell that disconnect.
Yeah, it just changes.
Yeah,
the and energy. It's like, oh, and then they end up losing the house.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
all because you didn't want to sell it to me.
Ego. That's crazy, bro.
And so I deal with that pretty frequently. That's probably the craziest thing I've had to deal with, besides just the regular people cussing you out because you reaching out to them and they might be in a situation and it's like, how'd you know that I didn't pay my mortgage in 6 months? And it's like, I get it, right? I understand, because I would probably be annoyed somebody calling me, but then I had to take my ego out of it and listen to the perspective behind it, right?
Yeah.
I'm about to lose my house, right? So do I lose it or do I just sell it? That's literally what it comes down to. And I had a situation like 2 years ago where it was some young brothers, right? One just got out of prison and his mom had passed away, left him the house, but he was struggling. He was really struggling to pay for the house. So I said, look, bro, this is what you owe. I'm going to put some money in your pocket, bro, so you can go and this ain't on your record. Because when a foreclosure go on your record, you ain't getting nothing for a good 7, 8, 10 years. Bro, it's tough. That's tough.
That's tough.
I don't care what any credit company says. They can probably get it all, but it always comes back on. It's tough. So to avoid that, just sell it. Get rid of it. Make some money in your pocket so it's not on your record. But we end up doing a deal, but they were a little tight, you know what I'm saying? Because, I flipped the house and I saw. But it was like,
you made it look really nice and
everything. But it was like, bro, I literally did y'all a service by getting rid of this debt for you. So when they went to go sign, and the notary was like, hey, now you're debt free. And they were like, what do you mean we're debt free? You're debt free. You owe the mortgage company this much money, and they were about to take the house. They had an auction date up for it. I stopped the process, bought the house, put money in your pocket. I was able to help you.
That's a problem solving 2 ways.
Yeah, bro. That's what this is. This is problem solving 101. Yeah, that's all real estate is. Problem solving.
You help 2 ends of the deal, and yourself at the end of the day.
And myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I've even done something right, and this was, I'm not gonna mention his name, but a high school classmate of mine. His parents had passed away, left him the house, and he fell into some bad addictions. Let's just say that, right? I'm not gonna mention what it is, but he was essentially about to lose the house. And I put $2,000 in his pocket up front. Like, yo, go get a room, go do something. Got him a pod, paid for a pod, and we helped him. Now, when the deal closed, I bought the house from him and flipped it and stuff. I ended up getting my money back, but I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to be like, yo, I'm going to give you $2,000 up front. But that was just to help him out to navigate through his situation. You know what I mean?
No, I got you.
He had a job. He was working and stuff like that. So I'm in the nature of helping, bro. That's my purpose.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to just do for you for whatever you want, but
I got you. No,
I'm in
for
the nature
sure.
of helping.
Sowing those seeds.
Yeah.
I always like to say is just showing people that God is real.
Right.
If you can glorify God, like, hey, I'm giving you this.
Right.
That just shows that, hey, you sowing your seed. Them receiving it, like, man, God is real. I received the blessing. So he get glorified in two ways. I always tell people that where you sow them seeds, he going to give it back. Right. But that's all around your faith. If you real tight with money, it's never gonna come. I started to learn that, man. The more tight you are with your money, the less you're gonna get, man. God, like, this is my money. I'm giving you this to borrow this to see what you gonna do with it. You know what I mean? So you gotta be leaving that impact. Man,
sure. I agree, bro. I agree wholeheartedly.
Man, I know real estate can be one of those games where you gotta be patient, where it might be slow. So how do you stay motivated during those slow seasons, man?
For one, I'm a big saver. I'm a big I don't want to say money guy, but when I do get deals and I'm making money, half of it automatically goes up. I save. And I have to be prepared. And my friends joke with me. They're like, oh, they call me Julius from Everybody Has Chris. You know what I mean?
Hey, man. But that's smart, man. That's how I'm starting to be more, too.
Yeah, bro. Got to. Saving is key, bro. That's one big financial literacy thing that at first I didn't really understand, but saving got me through some tough times.
Yeah.
But to stay motivated through it, like I said, I understand what my purpose is, and for me, I just grind through it, right? Because tough times don't last when you're continue grinding.
No, yeah, for sure.
Right?
If
I'm sitting back and I'm being,
stuck in it,
pity and oh man, and I used to, bro. Just to be honest, I used to be that way. Be like, oh man, but I've learned, and like I lose deals a lot, bro, and miss out on money. For the sake of argument, for this year, I done probably lost about a few $100,000, right, on just deals alone. Yeah. But what keeps me going is the next one, right? Yep. The opportunity to do the next deal, help somebody out, whatever it may be. So I stay motivated through it just by continue grinding. It don't waver my faith. It don't waver my ability to keep going. That's all.
No, I got you, man. I got you. Yeah, just stand down and just remembering that why. Right. It's really important why because it's like
gotta have a why factor.
No, yeah, you gotta have your why because like you said, it's gonna get to those points where you're like, all right, what am I even doing? Right. But just knowing you got God, man, because a lot of my confusion came because, man, I used to be stuck in my head a lot. Like when you just pray, what's in your head? If it's something bothering you, just pray. It'll be cool. I used to be just sitting around like you said, moping. Yep. Thinking every day's supposed to feel good and be good. Yep. But it ain't gonna feel like that, man. Yep. And that's them growing pains.
And I got something better for you. And this is me and my wife saying, what's for you is for you. God is gonna give you what's for you, right? That's just the nature of it. Right? Sometimes we think about stuff like, yo, why this happened? But it wasn't for you.
No, for sure.
That's just the nature of it.
That can be life. That's life. It's hard to swallow that pill sometimes.
Yep, this is me and my wife saying, bro. And she got two businesses. Let me mention this before we get off topic.
Yeah, no, I was going, and that's gonna go to my next question.
Oh, it is? Okay, I'm sorry. I ain't want to get ahead.
Oh no, you good.
Slumber Jam parties. My wife has a slumber party business, and she's also a local doula. So she has Empowering Birth and Slumber Jam parties. Those are her two businesses. And I'm gonna tell you how that all got started.
What is that?
So Slumber Jam party is a party business where it's a sleepover party business. Tents. I mean, she decorated the tents.
I've never heard of that, man.
Bro, I gotta show you. It's dope.
Man, see, it's them business where people run because nobody know about it. That's so dope. Okay.
Yeah, that, and like I said, she's a doula. So she's a birth worker, and she has her own company. She doesn't work for somebody. She got her own entity. And my wife also actually works. She has a part-time job working for the hospital as a patient advocate. Okay, so, that was all driven, I'm not going to say just by me. I would say by God. But it was just me kind of pushing and motivating her.
Being in alignment.
Yeah, find your purpose, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Because I felt like when I found my purpose, me and her had a lot of rifts because I started really living in my purpose. And it's like, all right, let's take vacation. Let's do this. Let's live life the way we should. And it conflicted because it was more or less like, yo, I got to go to work, right? All right, cool. I get it. But I got to go to work. So I'm like, I'm supposed to miss out on these opportunities that we both can enjoy because you got to go to work.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, we got to figure this out. We got to figure this out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need you to be searching for what you want to do. And so her first thing she did was she started her slumber party business. I'm like, all right, cool, right? And she had this great idea. She didn't really see it out here in the 757. She's like, yo, I'm going to do this. All right, cool. We went, took some money to the side, put some money to the side. She went and bought everything. We didn't get no loan, no business loan. And I personally never got a business loan either. No, I've never used my LLC to get any sort of business funding.
I'll be hearing people say that. We can get into that too a little bit. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I've never gotten anything behind it. And so neither has my wife. We've never gotten. It's just from the muscle. Let's just work hard and figure this out. So it was kind of like I kind of pushed her into the lane, but she jumped in and started swimming like nobody else, bro. Like, and that was like a proud moment for me, bro. Like seeing her really like flourish in that. Yeah, she doing her thing.
That's dope, man.
So
shout out to her, man. That brings my next question, man. I hear a lot of dudes. They say, man, stay single while you running it up, man. Don't get married, man. How has being married helped you financially and business, personally? Your growth spiritually, man. How has being married helped you? Explain it to the brothers out there, man.
And I'm not saying this to glaze my wife. She's the one who pushed me to be obsessive with wanting more out of life. For sure. And I'm saying that in the sense of like, I grew up, and this is no shade, right? I grew up where both my parents, my stepdad and my mom, they just worked jobs, right? But they struggled. Yeah. Right. And I get it, right? They did the best that they can do, and I love and appreciate them, and I'd do anything in the world for them, right? But for me, I wanted to live a certain life where didn't want to struggle. I wanted to have a home. I want to drive the car I want to drive. And it's not just about the material stuff. It was about the opportunity of having my time to be present. I was an athlete, like I said. And, my mom came to games. My step-pops did. He didn't. But he worked a lot, right? Yeah. He worked a whole lot.
Yeah.
And so I understood, right? You not being there because you got to work. And so I wanted to change that narrative, right? And so my wife, I remember 2017, and my wife told me, "You're a bad provider," right? Boy, man, that stung. Because I'm like, I'm such a great dad, and I'm in like the oldest girl in the house is not my kid, that's my step, but I've been around since she was 2 years old. Right. So she's my own. I raised her. I literally got her tatted on my chest too, just for my other kids. And so essentially, right, I had to take that in the core, bro, and take my ego out of it. And it made me mad in the moment. Don't get me wrong. Sure. But I had to think to myself, and I'm like, yo, was she right? Yeah. And she was. I went to work every day, but it wasn't enough for our family. So I had to figure out, what do I need to do to get to the next level so we don't struggle? And, my wife, her father, is an amazing man, bro. Like, I'm not going to put his business out there, but he is like top of the food chain with the company he works for. And, he's making over $500,000 a year. Let's just say that. Yeah, right? So he's providing for his family, but showing up. Present grandfather, dad, still do for his kids. And I love that, bro, because it just taught me, like, the stigma. When we 18, you got to be on your own. Yeah, for sure. But that's a poor mentality.
That is definitely a lack mentality, bro.
Yeah, it's a poor mentality. Yeah. So I'm not saying poor. I don't want to say poor, but it's a mentality that they're still kids. And so, essentially, not for nothing, no shade to my parents, but, they were struggling. So they was like, yo, you got to figure this out.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's that's like the average black kid.
Yeah, bro. You got to figure it out. So either you join the military or you going to get a job. Right? Yeah. Okay, if you go to school, now and that's what I did, right? I chose to go to college, but that was even a struggle. I had to take out loans to get books when I was off scholarship. And so it was a lot for me, bro. I had to figure it out, and I did. But I don't want my kids to have to go and figure it out. Let's put a plan together, and let's go with this plan. All right, if you need help outside of what I'm already doing, let's talk about how we're going to figure this out, right? And so, it just – so to say that, to come back on topic, my wife played a major part in all of what I do, you know what I mean? Because she gave me the space and allowed me to be, all right, I can jump in this. And I was busy at first. I can jump in this. I got the kids. I got the house. You go handle what you need to handle.
That's important.
You know what I mean? And we don't see eye to eye on a lot of stuff. That's just nature. You know what I mean? But
that's dope, man. That's dope, man. That's dope, man. This was an amazing episode, bro. You dropped a lot of value. A lot of value, man. A lot of gems, man. Get with my boy, man, if y'all trying to get into that space for sure. He's going to get you on the path you need to go, man. Before we get out of here, man, I just want you to leave them with a quote. Something that's on your mind, something for the people to think about, or something that they can do immediately to just start seeing some success in their life.
I wouldn't say a quote, but I would say definitely get into your word. The reading the word plays a major part in your mental. I would say this. I'll leave you with a scripture, Galatians 6:9. Go and read that scripture. it's a big scripture for me because it's a part of business, but helping, right? And matter of fact, let me just bring it up. I'm gonna read it to you real quick, just to leave y'all.
I was about to bring
just
it
to
up.
leave y'all with this. So Galatians 6:9 it says, "And let us not grow weary while we're doing good." And it says, "For in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart." So that's just saying, continue to do good for people, right? Go out and do good in the world, and your benefits will come. But that's not what we're looking for. Go out in the world, do good, and find your purpose, and then the benefits will come to you. So.
That's dope. Yeah, I like that. That's a gem, man.
Yeah, bro.
Man, this was definitely a dope episode. I hope that you guys take these gems. I hope you was writing notes throughout it. Like, comment, subscribe down below. Comment what you think the biggest takeaway was from my boy Thurston, man. Comment down. Invest in the comments if you're going to start taking it serious, taking it to the next level, man. You guys stay tuned for the next episode because we only going to be getting better. Thank you.